doing exercise and having a good morning routine and not letting the world dictate how you feel is just so powerful. Yep. As well as wearing a ninja outfit in the morning on beautiful. A podcast studio. So I'm just saying that
I can tell you've been doing CrossFit.
Thanks, man. I feel like you and I are finally starting to get dialed in on our morning routines. So I can say that I went through a, kind of a longer spell of, there's this thing, the 1% rule, 1% of improvement, 1% of non-improvement, I guess. And those things compound over a year. That's a 37x result. Well, what we've started doing is we started going to CrossFit in the morning. And the reason why I love CrossFit, so I used to make fun of it and always heard you get injured, blah, blah, blah. They're all cheerleading and everything, which there certainly is some of that. And if you go to a bad gym, then of course you can be susceptible to injuries. But what I love about it in any type of sport, because you play basketball as well, is one, it's physical. It gets your mind cleared. You're challenging yourself. You're doing something more difficult than most of the population. And you're putting yourself through something uncomfortable that you're in a group environment that you typically wouldn't do by yourself. And three, the competition and the competitiveness, even if you don't think you're competing, when you see individuals around you, 5:30 a.m. working their butt off, we've all got either kids, family issues. We all have multiple things going on, but to be able to be in a room together and do that and just, start your morning off right, it makes everything easier. Before, I think I was getting up, looking at my email, and all of a sudden I'm no longer in charge of my day. I'm being told what to do. I am answering to somebody else's to-do list. Now I think it's so important, and I'm sticking with this, is waking up at 4:45 a.m. I'm having my water. I mix a little bit of salt into it, Himalayan salt, some lemon, listening to audibles or podcasts on the way to the gym. That's a good 15 minutes of just kind of getting my mind a little bit lucid, just kind of thinking about the day, but without getting into somebody else's to-do list, such as the email inbox. Getting to the gym, having some really good conversations, but also being able to concentrate. You have to concentrate when you're putting 200 pounds above your head, or you're having to run a mile and do a bunch of burpee box jumps, whatever. You're having to have that additional level of concentration, and it really just hones you in for the day. After that, have a healthy breakfast, and boom. Now I can start attacking everybody else's to-do list, and now I can make it my to-do list.
It's rare that, especially with that time frame, 4:45, or everybody's schedule a little different, but it's rare that you can't find 30 to 60 minutes in the morning, and that those 30 to 60 minutes were so needed at your computer that you didn't have time to work out. It's a rare situation. And yesterday, I did not get a chance to work out in the morning, and I hate admitting this because I don't have an explanation for it, but I felt foggy for 5 hours, the first 5 hours of the day. And I ate well the day before. I got decent sleep, but I just didn't feel the same. One of the things I like about CrossFit, and this isn't a CrossFit commercial, I got made fun of this morning when I went to basketball because I told someone I was doing CrossFit, and let me guess, next you're going to tell me about you're a vegan and whatever the new fad is. But actually, the reason CrossFit's so beneficial is 100% everything you just said, because it's the camaraderie thing, it's the teamwork thing, you're getting up, you're getting after it. One of the things that my commander in the Army said, the first commander I had, Adam Thompson, shout out to captain or major or colonel, whatever he got out at, very successful guy. But he said, he explained it perfectly. When I was learning this in about 2011, that's about when I became a trainer for the Army in CrossFit. He said, if you realize once you're done with the workout, and this doesn't have to be CrossFit, it can be any workout, anything that's hard to do, basically. Once you're done with that, you're like, holy cow, those 10 emails I have to answer a couple odd things, or those few things I have to accomplish today, those are nothing compared to what I just had to do.
It makes life so much easier. And that was the biggest thing that I learned from doing CrossFit, because I used to go at 6:30 a.m. So this is when I had my W-2 job, and I'd show up, and honestly, it was back-to-back meetings for the first 4 hours, with the first meeting always being the most contentious. It was always focused on problems. It was very solemn. It was just basically a really bad way to start your day.
Great.
And every single other person in that room, almost everybody, had just basically gotten up, gone through the routine, and this was the first thing that they were experiencing when being around in a group. And it just stressed everybody out. You could just see it. You could just see the lack of productivity, the lack of enthusiasm for it. when I started doing CrossFit, go to those meetings, I was the odd duck because I thought it was all great because they're problems that are ready to be solved. They weren't problems. I had just accomplished something so difficult that I wouldn't have thought I could have done 3 hours ago.
Yep.
But I was able to do that. And now everything just looks infinitely easier. And you can just break it down into really what it is. So often we get stressed out about these things, just like, oh my gosh, this is broken. Okay, that's fine. Just break it up in little pieces and we can fix it. We can delegate it. We may have to do some work. Or you know what? We can put it on the list and next week we'll schedule some time to get to it. But freaking out about it right now will not help. And just doing exercise and having a good morning routine and not letting the world dictate how you feel is just so powerful. Yep. As well as wearing a ninja outfit in the morning on beautiful. A podcast studio. So I'm just saying that.
I can tell you've been doing CrossFit.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.